What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt Taville with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua. Joyce, get this. Anthony Joshua responds to Joyce being knocked out in round 3, and this is what he had to say. He said, quote, I thought that I was the chinny one. Look who got dropped and knocked spark out by a guy that I dropped in the Olympics. Priceless. Those are the words of Anthony Joshua, and let me counterpunch. This is kind of rare for Joshua, but then he does speak sometime. And you guys remember early last year, there was a Cold War, social media beef going back and forth between Joyce and Anthony Joshua, where Anthony Joshua let out, or one of his team members let out a clip of Joshua boxing up Joyce. And Joyce, of course, responded. He didn't like that so much because he was just like, okay, why didn't you show the whole thing? You know, it was more to that clip. It was, a lot of people justify it, how Conor McGregor let that footage go of him slapping around Paolo Malignaggi. This is somewhat of the similar because, Joshua was just moving, bam, 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 and then moving, bam, 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 bam. Just giving him angles, showing him combinations to the face. And, that pissed off Joyce, so they went back and forth, and I think Joe really came back with his counter with, hey, well, AJ's chinny. He's a bit chinny. He's a bit weak in the whispers, right? Light in the whispers. And this, I got to tell you, it's a perfect opportunity for a counter. And Anthony Joshua did it. Well played. Because Joyce was known for the heavy, solid chin. And he was known to even consider him taking punches from the likes of guys like Deontay Wilder, which we more than likely won't get a chance to see if he could or not. However, we knew he couldn't take that shot from Zhilei Zhang. We know he took a lot of punishment in the first fight, but he got knocked spark out in the second. Okay, so I think the ref played around with him a little bit, which was wrong, but nonetheless, AJ comes through with that pain. This just goes to show you what you're known for is pretty much what you're going to get exposed with. The things that you're the best at, or the things that you're the most successful with, like Joyce, his endurance, his chin, his heart. The best thing was probably his chin, right? Okay, well, he got exposed. Anthony Joshua, he was known to be a decent boxer. Well, he got exposed by a guy, being overzealous of Andy Ruiz, overcommitting, punching over his knee, overstepping his boundaries, leaving himself open because he was trying to get the fight out of there. So people learn in crazy ways. And I say this with any type of beef, because I know since Joyce and Joshua, I don't think they've seen each other since they've talked that shit to each other. I think all these guys should fight. I think Joshua should fight Miller. I think Joyce should fight Tyson. I think Tyson should fight Joshua. I think Joshua should fight Wilder. I think Wilder should fight Miller. I think Anderson, Big Baby Miller should fight Frank Sanchez, because these guys have had everything to say about each other outside the ring. But it is ironic, though, that Joyce would get knocked out by Zhilei Zhang, and Zhilei Zhang isn't really known to be a knockout puncher. And it just goes to show you the thing that you think or you get popular for, that's what you're going to end up being infamous for later on. The same thing. The one thing that we thought that was solid from Joyce was his chin. And Zhilei Zhang caught him with a right hook, bro, a heavy right hook that put him down. Now, looking at that, right, looking at that knockout from a southpaw of Zhang, it makes me think about when Abel Sanchez You remember him? Used to train Joe Joyce. And he shut that fight down between Joe Joyce and Luis Ortiz. Now, understand, this was like 2019, no, 2000, late 2018, when, Luis Ortiz was coming off his first loss. But, of course, he had the legitimacy of hurting Wilder. And, he was getting that reputation for people ducking him. Okay? And Joe Joyce was that up-and-coming guy, and I could have sworn he was a lot younger, which, in fact, he really was. He was just older than everyone else. But, you could tell he was a lot younger or a lot more inexperienced than Luis Ortiz. And Luis Ortiz pretty much threatened Joyce that, like, hey, we can fight, but that undefeated record you won't have after you come out of the ring with me. After that, Abel Sanchez came forth and said, no, we don't like that fight for Joe Joyce. I think he said something on the lines of, we're not ready for Joe Joyce, or something like that. It was something exactly like that. If I look, I'll post it, in post. But it just goes to show you, though, that Joe Joyce, making fun of somebody that supposedly didn't have a chin, you get chinned. Then that goes to show you why you should never talk shit, because you never know, people. You never know when karma is right around the corner. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Anthony Joshua responding to Joe, the Juggernaut Joyce, over his chin, saying who's chinny now. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!